showtime.
Can I just say, wow, I really hit the mother load on this one. So I was doing a little bit of his Dynamax battling off screen so I can get some more items, and holy sweet Mama Gemma and Marietta socks. I really went the extra mile on that one. I guess a majority of those items that I just obtained from that one actually came from one whole dig, like 18 items. Hey everybody, it's the D-Rock 100 and welcome back to more Pokémon Sword. Last time, we defeated Habu, and we have managed to finally make our way to Hammerlock City, where we had a bit of an encounter with a Wooloo head, and we got the objective to meet here, Rose, and Olina here to see what's going on at the stadium. This time, we're doing just that. Now, have a look at my tablet. I've got all the information you need on it. I love a sprite. See? An easy to understand description of the energy plant. First, energy absorbed from Hammerlock Stadium's tower. Then, it changed into electricity in the underground power plant and delivered it to people throughout the region. Our lives in society require various types of energy sources such as electricity, natural gas, and water. My associate groups aim to improve everyone's lives by harnessing the power stored in wishing stars. Oh, it's time for me to get to work. I should get a move on before Olina decides to give me another earful. Derek, I suggest you head over here to the vault next. Just head towards Route 6 from the stadium and you should find the vault without any issue. Before we do that, I would like to talk here to the ball boy here. He gives us the level ball. This is a ball that makes it easier to catch a Pokemon that are a lower level than your own Pokemon. It's okay, I guess. I just really don't find much of a good use out of it. You know what? Let's get on our bike. We're gonna come this way. Oh, hi, Leon! Derek! Seems you're doing well collecting gym badges? But Hop, did something happen to him? He was actually really on when I ran into him. He took on a one-hit look at me and immediately was like, I'm so sorry, Lee. It might be the first time I heard him apologize for anything. I have no idea what it was for. Maybe he's feeling down because he had some hard loss in battle? Yeah, he lost to that challenger bead. When you lose, you feel down in the dumps. But then there's nowhere left to go but back up. You've got to think on why it was you lost. You know, that little brother of mine, I think he might have yet become a surprisingly great trainer. Blossom, look at the time. Nearly forgotten my meeting with the shaman. That Olina really lets me hear it when I'm late. Now if only I could remember which way to go. Anyway, I said him that you should go and say hello to Ryan while you're here, Derek. He's the greatest rival I've got and the final hurdle you'll have to face in the gym challenge. He should still be around the vaults. If you hurry, it's down that way on the way to Route 6. Yeah, good idea. And, oh, item. 2 Hyper Potions. Hooray! Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that I could actually run into you. I don't think I did. Okay, yeah, I'm good. if it isn't the trainer endorsed by the champion. Let's see. What was your name again? Ah, right, Derek. And if Leon himself recognized your potential, then I guess you'll grow into quite the trainer. All the same, though, anyone wanting to challenge the mighty Ryan has to prove that they're up into it by earning 7 gym badges first. I'm here to visit the vault. Ah, so you're here to see our treasures, are you? Gaining a better understanding of Pokemon by studying history certainly isn't a bad idea. I think of spirit, kid. Follow me, why don't you? I'll even spare you one of my league cards. Hello? I'll be right back. Okay. Don't know what happened there. But I promise I'm not doing this on purpose, guys. Now on you go. If it's the vault you want, it's up those stairs there. Why don't I take a quick look at your league card? You okay there, buddy? You look like you're having a spasm. Ryan is commonly regarded as the most skilled gym leader in the Galar region. He has striven for victory in every environment, and as a result, he has adopted a battle style where he utilizes weather effects to their fullest. It is rumored that he could easily become another region's champion, should he choose to move. But it seems that to Ryan, defeating Leon is much more important. His uploaded selfies are quite popular. Occasionally, he'll post a photo that only shows a sandstorm. Sounds like I'm a bit of a foreshadowing. TM29 Charm. That's what I think of it. It's pretty much useless. Let's go through here. Oh. Hello? Oh, you're here! Brilliant, aren't they? It's great that there are still treasured tapestries and they can tell us of Galar's history. The chief is watching a wishing star. A disaster occurs. The two bewildered youths. The youths are looking on at the sword and shield that stopped the disaster. The youths being crowned. These tapestries tell the story of the creation of a kingdom of Galar. Say, young gym challenger, what sticks out to you most about them? I'll just say they're two heroes. Bang on! The statue of the hotel in Monostoke only had one hero, no matter how you slice it. But here, we clearly have two youths. Was there really only one hero? Or were there two? What even caused the darkest day? Thanks for letting me bounce on some ideas off you. I think I've got some theories now. I'm going to research the tapestries a tad more, but you have your gym challenges, right? I'm cheering for you, so take a couple of these. I hope you see more of your wins. Yeah, pretty interesting. Especially since that we got a lot of interesting lore that has to be given to us here in Galar. Alright, you still here, Ryan? Yes, you are. The Tapestries and the vote have picked the heroes of the Galar region's past. I suppose if we've got any more than a hero, it had to be our champion Leon. Listen up, Derek. Your goal is to defeat the superstar Leon. So go conquer Route 6 and train yourself up along the way to stay on side. Stay on side. So, onward to Route 6 and, sandstorms in the heat. Ugh, not my favorite combination. But what is a good combination is our choices of Pokemon to go for. What a cute silly cobra! Just look at those adorable eyes! Oh, I had it backwards. Oops. It's our duty as Team Yo to make sure Silicobra gets a nice peaceful sleep! Hello, Dad. I promise not to wake up the Pokemon. Will you let me through? Of course! It'll be our pleasure. Oh, hi, Derek. You're heading for a store inside, right? Oi, Team Yell, don't suppose you'll let us through? Nah, you guys are way too loud. Can't be letting you through. And we're particularly not fond of kids that we're in the challenge band. With all your stomping around, Silicobra's sure to wake up. Right. What is sorry, Derek? If we don't get past them, we won't be able to continue on gym challenges as still aside. Let's battle them. You. Yeah, that's the spirit! You two are way too noisy. You don't want to wake up Silicobra now, do you? I swear, kids these days. Well, we've got no choice. We have to send you packing. It's all for the sake of Silicobra. It's called dramatic irony. You're going to lose because you're being too freaking loud. Hence your name. Back to you. Yeah, I made a bad choice. Alright. You may bite, but I got your tomb. Ah, balls. Alright. Go for the slash. Because apparently you can do that with no hands. Oh, ouch. Aftermath. Stupid ability. Wukon's level 31, Hydrogen's at level 29. Yeah. Let's send out a Linoon, eh? Oh. I said that I would be talking about Centiskorch in this episode, but I guess I didn't quite prep for that. Promise I'm not doing this on purpose, guys. There's just a lot happening. Oh, I'm sure once we reach a common point, and then maybe I'll fill it in. And why did you use Home Claws? Well, I guess that one's all on you. Blimey, even your batters are too noisy. And it's called a cruel irony. I think I'll leave this to you, Derek. Keep up the pace. Alright. Because apparently that works on a Pokemon with Levitate for the ability to use a ground type move. Where's the logic? Alright. Alright. Oh, come on! But that's okay. We poisoned it to death. Corvus Squad's level 31, Ducktrail's level 30, and Ender's level 30. I'll take it. You could learn Sandstorm. Nah. Why'd you have to be such a bother? Because I don't need honey. Said a Kurma might wake up after all that ruckus. Then there's no point in us sticking around. Let's get out of here. We'll make these bothersome kids holler some other day. Derek, you and Corbin were brilliant together. Say, Bede really wiped the floor with me the last time I battled. And don't get me wrong, I can take a loss. Battling means you've got to lose sometimes. But he said that I was dragging Lee's good name through the mud, being so rubbish like I was. I just can't even get those words out of my head. If I'm weak, then people will think Lee's weak too. But I don't want that. I can't let Lee get dragged down. He's the unbeatable champion. I'm gonna have to take some time fighting and figuring this out. See you around, Derek. The poor guy! To be fair, y'all's fault. You're the one who the gym leader challenges orders by Leon, aren't you? My name's Opal. If you want to know more, have a look at my league card. I'll keep an eye on you, child. I want to see what you can do while you all go out. Well, that happened. But I feel so bad for Hop! Alright, what do we got? Opal was the oldest gym leader in the Galar region. She took her over for her mother 70 years ago, and has kept the possession since. However, she feels that her own values have reached their limits, and thus she is currently looking for a worthy successor. She claims that she gives the deliberately tricky quizzes because people reveal their true colors when in a pinch. But many speculate that in reality, she does it out of pure spite. I need to go heal! Okay, now we're finally calming down a little bit on that one. We can finally make our way onward. Going through here! We have 16 new Pokemon for us to talk about. Just like before, I'm going to try to minimize the filler. So, let's not waste time. Starting things off, Doug Trio! Everything that I said about Diglett applies with this classic. It is the ultimate revenge sweeper with some of the best attack and speed that you will find in pretty much most ground types. Just to know that it's going to be a little bit tricky to deal with, because if you didn't go for Diglett from before, it's going to be a little bit difficult to catch right now. Plus, Magnitude, Earthquake, Fissure, heck, even Mudshot through leveling up. At least I think I can learn Mudshot, but the point is, this is one of the best ground types, and that'll learn some of the best moves that you can have for this particular kind of family. Next up, Trapinch, a Gen 3 ground type that has actually become quite popular. Why? Well, considering the fact that it may start off as a slow ground type, it eventually become a part dragon type upon its evolution of Vibrava. honestly, I won't be able to blame you that much if you want this Pokemon. I would personally think that Hyper Cutter or Sheer Force is going to be the best one to go for. And just leveling up is going to be a little bit of a challenge. But noted that Earthquake is also physical. And this is one of the best physical offensive Pokemon that you will find. And to make matters even better, it becomes one of the best physical sweepers. It has Levitate for the ability. And, ouch! Leveling up is going to be a pain to deal with. Luckily, you have those experience candies, and it will be pretty easy to go from there. If you want to try one, go right ahead. But it's going to be hard to raise at first. Coming up next is Maractus. Do you even remember that this Pokemon even exists every now and then? In fact, ironically, it's weak to Sandstorm, but it's a pure grass type, and none of its abilities complement it well for what it is. But anyway, back to Maractus. All in all, it's a decent pure grass type. It can potentially have two of its abilities to give it a water immunity, which is nice. And Chlorophyll doubles its speed in the sunlight, which is not bad, I guess. I guess if you really do want to have a grass type, this one is okay, I guess. But the only real big negative that I have with it is that it's very outclassed, and I think that there's some better grass types out there, so you're probably better off with something else. Tired of hearing me saying that some Pokemon are just outclassed and they work in some strange ways? Well, guess what, you sons of guns? Galarian Yamask! Oh my god. Okay. This Pokemon. Oh boy. This thing is weird. How is it weird? Well, it's a ground ghost type with a signature ability of Wandering Spirit. This exchanges abilities with a Pokemon that hits it and with a move that makes direct contact. So this is basically like Mummy, except you're swapping abilities. It's weird, but I don't get it. And it does evolve in this game, not just on a through level up. So, you think that it'll probably be locked at a certain level, you have to give it an evolution stone, you have to learn a certain move. It's actually none of those things. We now have access to the Dusty Ball in the wild areas. It needs to take at least 49 HP in damage. It has to be under a large rock arc. And it has to survive a fight without fainting. It becomes one of the best defensive walls in the game. But that would be nice to go for if everything else about it didn't suck. Okay, look, I'm not saying that it's that bad. I'm just saying that, like with Maractus, it's kind of outclassed. And before you ask, no, its evolution, his name is not Cofagrigus. I actually don't fully remember how you even pronounce it in the first place, so I'm not even gonna try. But all in all, it's okay. If you want a ghost type and you chose not to go for Ghastly from earlier, which, why would you not? It's decent in the way how it is. Let's go for a bit of a 180 and talk about a Pokemon that is really good. Actually, this is a good choice to go for either way. Axew! Oh boy! This thing is dope. One of the greatest physical offensive dragon types you will find anywhere. Mold Breaker is probably going to be the better ability to go for. And, well, I guess Unnerve is okay, but let's face it, when are you ever going to use Unnerve? Pretty much every foe you're going to be facing pretty much at this point is going to have practically nothing on that. And even though it has such a great variety of move pools, or I guess learning moves that it can learn, The problem that I have with it is that a majority of the moves that it can learn are special base. In fact, one of the best dragon moves in the game of Draco Meteor is unfortunately special. And that special offensive stat won't complement it well. That's the only real negative that I have for it. I'm not saying that it's bad, it's just awkward. But who cares? Actually, it's one of the best dragon types that you can get in the game. If you want one, it's right here. They can be a little bit tricky to raise. But once it fully evolves, Haxorus is a monster, and I love this thing to death. Onto a Pokemon that is weird, and it can work in so many different ways. Helioptile. An electric normal type. A unique type with it itself and its evolution. It has a lot of normal type moves. It actually has a variety of moves because it's a normal type. It has a water immunity but dry skin. And it can have an immunity to Sandstorm, which is nice. So, what's the problem? The only real gripe that I have with this is that it wants it to be a decent special sweeper, but I feel like this is once again a Pokemon that is okay for what it is, but it's very outclassed. So you might want to consider figuring out how you want to use it, and, well, I think you might be seeing where I'm going with this. In fact, Helioptile is a great choice to go for in double battles, because its abilities can work in many good ways depending on how you use it. This is one of the few times where I actually don't recommend its hidden ability of Solar Power. While it may boost the special offensive stats in a harsh sunlight, it unfortunately loses HP after every turn, and it can be a tough road to go for. All in all, not bad, but it is pretty close to evolving, so whatever. Moving on to random encounters, we have Torkoal. This is a really nice defensive fire type. And, wouldn't you know it, it's slow, like a tortoise. But the real kicker, and I mean a really big kicker, is the fact that its abilities work in great ways in both single and double battles. If you want one, I definitely would recommend Drought Tuner for single player, Shell Armor for single player and double battles, and White Smoke for double battles. It's decent in the way of how it's going to be handling with many moves, and has some good type coverage being a fire type. Plus, it can tank a lot of hits and pretty much dish back just as much as the others. It doesn't evolve, but with the base defense stat of 140 and knowing Flamethrower leveling up and even Shell Smash, what's not to like? I guess speed, but don't worry. It's a small price to pay. What isn't so much of a good price to pay is Duskull. Oof. Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say this. Duskull is decent. In fact, I actually would think that Duskull is a pretty nice defensive Pokemon. It has Levitate for the ability. It sadly loses it upon evolving into Dusclops, which I guess I can kind of see for why that would be the case. But the reason why I'm saying it like this is because you need to have access to multiplayer if you want to have a full evolution of Dusknoir. And you'll also need a certain held item known as the Reaper Cloth to take care of that for you as well. I don't want to give this Pokemon a bad review. I think it's great, and I think it's kind of underrated. If you can get access into multiplayer with the Reaper Cloth and trading it back and forth, there you go. I will say this, you will be able to find a Dusknoir in the wild areas, but they're going to be hard to catch. Which is why I would recommend that you do it sooner rather than later. I feel so bad for Duskull. I wanted it to be nice, but oh well. It wasn't meant to be. Maybe some other time. What are we talking about a Pokemon that actually isn't good in many times? Except, not really. Hippopotas! A pure ground-type Pokemon that prioritizes with Sandstorm. And can I just say, ouch! I know I say that a lot, but this one unfortunately doesn't have much to hide for. Hippopotas can summon a Sandstorm upon entering the battlefield, which, on its own, is great. The only real big gripe that I have with it, Sandstorm affects all the types except for rock, ground, and steel types. Any ability that actually complements them all in a Sandstorm, like, say, Sandfile, is great. It is actually a nice way of countering that. And what's really nice with Hippopotas, if you plan on using its hidden ability of Sand Force, and yes, it can learn Sandstorm, it will get a very nice priority boost suited to rock, ground, and steel types and while in the Sandstorm. It is unfortunately on the slow side like most ground types, but upon its evolution of Hippowdon, it will have access to the Elemental Fangs. And how could we say no to the Elemental Fangs when they have such good type coverage from that? Plus, throw in an Earthquake while you're at it? Don't lie! That is a phenomenal choice in my opinion. It's great, but it will take a while for it to reach its full potential. And you got two great abilities to go for, but... And here it comes. It's great for double battles, and it's decent in the full single battles with itself. Or if it's a Pokemon that has an ability that can counteract that. And yes, Magic Bounce does help out as well. Actually... Magic Guard, that's it, Magic Guard. Let's get on to a Pokemon that's actually one of my personal favorites. Starupi! A poison bone type that will eventually become a poison dark type upon its evolution. Meaning that it only has one weakness. Ground. This doesn't need much of an introduction. I love this Pokemon more than most. Battle Armor. Protection from critical hits is probably the best one to go for in my opinion. And its other abilities are no slouch either. Not much really needs to be said about it, but it eventually becomes one of the best defensive offensive Pokemon. As also as how I say that, but even though that what I'm saying may sound kind of far-fetched, and it does hold a couple of weaknesses as it is, but getting around that will make this thing very, very good. Just be mindful that some of the moves that I've learned through leveling up are pretty out there, so you're going to be working with TMs on this one in the process. So, you remember Maractus, right? Well, whether or not you do remember that Pokemon at all, so we can kind of say the same thing for Heatmore. Yep, it's a Pokemon that people keep forgetting exists. Well, you're kind of better off forgetting that this Pokemon even exists anyway, so... I guess we can talk about some decent things that I can say about it. It has a decent special offensive stats in it, which is kind of nice. It knows some pretty nice fire-type moves like Fire Lash, which is also a very nice choice to go for. And heck, even though that it has a pretty decent offensive stat that's slowly a special offense, it could be a decent mixed attacker, so where's the problem? Not only is this thing in kind of a glass cannon compared to everything else that we've been seeing throughout the game, its abilities don't exactly complement it well for how you'll see it throughout the main journey, and it's alright for how it is in double battles. I really don't like giving Pokemon bad reviews because I feel like they're good. But I guess unfortunately for fire hair and eating Pokemon, it's probably just gotta keep realizing that it doesn't exist. And what's funny is that, ironically, the prey is better than the predator in every way. Durant is awesome. A bug steel type, great offensive stats, great speed stat, I might add. And how could we possibly overlook that defense stat? The answer? You darn can't. This is one of my personal favorite Pokemon, and I think it's kind of underrated. In fact, I even considered using this Pokemon on my team for a while to raise it. But the reason for why I chose not to this time around is because I want to give myself a chance to try something a little different. It's crazy, and it sounds stupid, but I actually have my reasons for why I'm doing it like this. But even though that it's rivaling that of Scizor, unlike it, you don't have to worry about trading him with any evolution. In fact, it doesn't evolve, and it doesn't need to. Swarm is going to be the ability I'm probably going to go for, and please do not get Truant! This used to be Slack off a Slacking signature ability where it can only move every other turn. Which, why would an ant like this want Truant? Hustle's also a good choice, but I like my accuracy as it is, thank you. All in all, with Metal Claw, X-Scissor, Iron Defense, heck, even... I think you might be seeing where I'm going with this, but the point is, Durant is awesome. If you want one, it's right there, and I love it. Next up is Hawlucha. Ugh. I gave it some good praise into some passing couple of games, but unfortunately, it doesn't have anywhere to hide for this one. It's a fighting flying type, which on its own, it's not bad. So, what's the problem? Its stats, as well as the moveset that it learns, don't exactly complement it well except for fighting type moves. In fact, the majority of the moves that it learns through leveling up is fighting type moves. But what's even more is the fact that it has a decent signature move known as Flying Press. And this one works in a couple of weird ways. This is a 100 power, 100 accuracy. Wait, is it even 100 accuracy? I don't think I even have it on there. It's a 100 power physical offensive fighting type move that can be both flying and fighting types. All in all, it's okay. Just kind of works in some strange ways. In fact, what makes this thing even crazier to the point that for where you gotta cringe at it, its type coverage just goes all over the place. And all but its hidden ability are better, and it's just, I struggle to find some good things to say about Hawlucha. It was great when it made its debut in Generation 6, but unfortunately, it's kind of middle of the road at this point. Speaking of a Pokemon that's kind of middle of the road that's now class, let's talk about Squirtle's evolution of Greedent. Just kidding. Silicobra. This is awesome. A pure ground type that actually works in some pretty good ways, and it actually works very good. Silicobra has a signature ability of Sand Spit. If it gets hit by an attack, it will summon a sandstorm. That's pretty good in on itself. And of course, it can learn Sandstorm almost right out of the box. So, you might want to consider going with a few different ways of going for. But, like what I've said from before with many Pokemon, it does take a while for you to get that certain item that I can change your ability. And Silicobra is going to be one of those Pokemon you're going to be waiting for a while on that. But With such a good abilities and that it has up its non-existent sleeves? Don't lie. This is a ground type that I would recommend for pretty much anybody. Heck, even to my worst enemies, I would even recommend this Pokemon. It will take a while for it to learn some better ground type moves over the course of its little life. But when you have stats like that, and you have a nice ability that can work in a few different ways, who cares? It's great. And this time for real. Greet it. The evolution of Squavet is right here. Everything that I said about its pre-evolution applies. But the problem is just... ugh. Tiki Pouch is probably the best thing that I can ever really say about it. And even though that it has some good attack and special and defense stats, I can't really say any other good things about this Pokemon. It's just that, well, everything applies with Squavet, and it's just a little bit more powerful version than that. Okay, now I can finally catch a breather. Alright. You may have a Sark, but I got a Bulldoze. Maybe I shouldn't gloat about that. Oh well. So you're bulking up, eh? Let's see if that'll protect you from this! Ow! Hey! How dare you kick me twice? You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna poke you in the crotch. Okay, the torso's fine, but... you make me sick. I just didn't realize you were speaking Spanish on that one. Fantastico! Okay. Let's climb up here. And this right here is when things are going to really... oh! Hold on! Hold on a second. I have at least 3 of each of the ones from this game. Boy, do I have some things to talk about with this. Oh. Axew! Sorry, Axew. I really like you, but I used you in the past. Let's put... you got Mold Breaker for the ability. Ah! That was tempting, but... I have to say no. Got Light Clay right there. Okay. Okay. You know what? I actually feel a little confident in this one. Got TM15 Dig right here, which is very nice to have. You know what? Yes. Let's do that. We got time. In fact, alright. Let's go and start cooking. And we've been overdue with talking about this. But, man, there's a lot of items that they can give us on the way. Let's go for... let's go for the packaged curry. And we actually got a good variety of new berries in the process, so... go for 2 of each of these. Sure, we'll go for that. Alright, hey to my friends. Here we go. Just have to fan up the flames. Alright. Give it a good stir. Don't want to... Make sure it's all good. And put the heart into it. Hacha! Alright guys, come and get it! Oh! Wait, is that the best occurring that there is in the game? I think that just might be. Cover Riot class! HP and PP were restored and any status conditions were healed. Your Pokemon gained a lot of experience points. Will calm the rest of your party has gotten quite friendly towards you. Just wow! I was not expecting a Copper Riot class. Alright, I'm curious. Wow, that was underwhelming. Alright. Go this way. We want to talk to this person right here. Name's Careless. I'm a research fossil. I'm researching fossils, huh? You got some fossils there, huh? Will you show me to them, Careless? Which of the fossils do you think stands up to the high standards of Careless? So, before we go any further, I would like to point out that there are 4 special fossils that you can find throughout the game. Well, they're more like version exclusives. They are the following: the fossilized bird, the fossilized drake, the fossilized dino, and the fossilized fish. These are version exclusives and that can work in a few different ways. The fossilized in a bird, and I believe the fossilized dino is only... Wait. I need to correct myself. Okay, the dino and the bird are only exclusive to sword, whereas the drake and the fish are only exclusive to shield. They will give you one of 4 Pokemon depending on what fossil that you give her. Let's give her the fossilized bird, and let's give it the fossilized dino. And oh boy, wait till you see her for what's they're going to give us. So basically, she's doing a fossilized Frankenstein Pokemon for us. Seems the restoration was a great success. Yes, I can see it in its eyes. This is a Pokemon that walked the face of Galar in ancient times. Please take care of this Pokemon, huh? We get an Arctozolt. This is a weird Pokemon, but we'll get to this Pokemon in a moment. If you think I'm weird, just look at that thing. The shaking of its freezing upper half is what generates its electricity. It has a hard time walking around. And you know what? Yep! I decided to have a fossil join us on my adventure. And I think I will call you... Oh wait, hold on, this. I will call you Freezy. Yep. Welcome to the club, Freezy. Corvus Squire, your time here is done. So, let me take a good look at this new Pokemon, because I believe they're given to us at level 10. Level 10! Okay, you know what? I can fix that, no problem. Even though that what I might be doing may seem like a bad idea, it's catching up with the rest of the team, and it's going to love it. Okay, we're going Ancient Power. Powder Snow, Thundershock, Charge, and Echo Voice. Charge, get out of here. So by the looks of it, there is only one new Pokemon that we need to add to the team. So this begs the ultimate question, where could it be? I don't want to make it too powerful. Gonna learn the move Pluck. Yeah, we'll get rid of Echo Voice. And I think of what I'll maybe do now is... Genius. I actually do want to have my buddy here to be ready for pretty much anything. So... Oh, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. I never gave him some of the other Pokemon some Dynamax candy, have I? Do that. I think this should just about balance it out. And I guess just to be on the safe side, sure. Alright! So, going over to these fossilized Pokemon. We have 4 Pokemon that could be given to us, and of course this is one of them. But we're going to see this one for just a moment. With the fossilized bird and the fossilized Drake, you will need to bring the Drake over from Shield. We'll get you Dracavolt. This thing is an electric dragon type. Probably one that works in some strange ways. And I think this one can make even Zekrom cringe a little bit. But unlike Zekrom, it actually knows some pretty good moves in it that Anhydrite doesn't require another one's help. Well, at least using another move, that is. I should point this out in that all of the Burnhead fossils that you'll find here have a signature move known as Bolt Beak. This is an 85 power, 100 accuracy, physical electric type move that can actually double up to 170 if you go before the target or the target switches out the move the turn that you plan on using it. This thing is awesome. In fact, it could even have a Sandstorm immunity with Sand Rush, and with Bolt Absorb, say hello to that type of an immunity. As much as I'd like to say that this is a Pokemon that can work in such good ways, this is unfortunately a Pokemon that I think could use a little bit of some power-ups for what it should normally have. But don't worry. With some good electric and dragon type moves and that I'll learn later on, and maybe throw in an ancient power while you're at it. Don't lie. Despite some flaws, it can actually tank a lot of good hit, and it's addition right back, no problem. With the fossilized bird and fossilized dino, our new member of the team, Arctozolt, an electric ice type, and that is kind of interesting to say the least. It's not bad. It's just interesting. And just unlike its brethren, it has a Voltozorb for the ability. But what's also nice is that it has Static and Slush Rusher for the ability as well. Slush Rush doubles its speed while it's in a hailstorm. And Static, well, needs no real introduction. If there's one thing that I could say about Arctozol, is fun. It can be used in a variety of different ways, in different ways of weather. It can prevent Pokemon from touching it because of static. And it can even have an electric immunity, depending on how you want to go for it. It may not evolve, but in reality, it doesn't need to. All in all, this is a very good choice to go for, and I definitely recommend that you use it if you want to have some fun with it in the end. Moving onward with the fossilized fish and the fossilized drake, Dracovish. A water dragon type, and that I actually consider this to be the superior over the others. Why? Well, because it has some very nice abilities that not only complement well with some of the moves that it learns to level up, and the fact that all of the fossilized fish Pokemon that it can learn have a very nice signature move of Vicious Rend. See what they did there? Just like it with Bolt Beak, it's 170 if it goes before the target or if it switches out. But what makes Dracovish probably the better one to go for is the fact that Strong Jaws increases its power by 50%. This means, if I'm doing the math correctly, which I rarely ever do, we could potentially see it at 255 base power. Can you say disappointing? Well, I should hope not, because, like I said, Strong Jaws with that move is awesome. Too bad you won't be getting it for a while, because like with Bolt Beak, it won't be learning it for quite some time. Luckily, leveling up is going to be very easy to do, and, well, it's one of the Pokemon that helped Ashen claim that victory. Like I said, it's considered to be the superior of the choice. And finally, with the fossilized fish, with the fossilized dino, Arctofish. A water ice type that I think it's decent in the way how it works. But I actually consider this would probably be the weakest. Hear me out. A water ice type is really nice and it lifts us into the bulk like they do. Ice Body isn't nice for getting HP in hailstorms. And of course, Slush Rush kind of speaks for itself because we talked about it from before. There's also that Water Absorb, giving it a water immunity. But I think you're probably better off with either Ice Body or Slush Rush in my opinion. Mainly due to the fact that this is a move in it, or I guess in the case, ability that can work in such good ways. And water and ice only ever resist themselves. Plus, I kind of unfortunately see this Pokemon to be outclassed by a certain other water ice type that you'll be seeing later on. But even if you don't want to hit this Pokemon, you're better off enough with that other Pokemon that you'll be seeing later on as well. So, Arctofish is okay for what it is, but unfortunately, I consider it to be the weakest, and unfortunately, the one that's going to be the most outclassed. $20 bios in this episode, just a whole lot of ouch. Can I ever catch a break from this? The answer? Not for a while. But don't worry. When that moment comes, I'll be ready for it, and I am going to savor it. Because, well, lucky for me, I actually got something prepped and ready to go. And, oh, hello. These are cards of the Pokemon Diglett. They're easy to carve due to its simple design. Ha! Whatever you say there, buddy. Well, yeah, this place. And before we do anything else, go to the Pokemon Center because you'll be a sitting duck if you don't. Kind of. Okay, so I guess with all of that, we got ourselves the 5th member of the team. We made it hit to our new destination. We had to put up with Team Yell a lot. I think there's gonna be one. Oh. Thanks for the fossils that I don't really need anymore. I want to talk to these people real quick. This person will have a bargain here for us. What will be today's bargain? Reaper Cloth! Well, I guess if you want to have a Dusk Noir to come to you sooner than ever, here you go. Oh, actually, yeah, what is your next bargain? It's a Protector's gonna be next. Okay. You want a pearl. You want to buy a pearl from me for only 3,000? If you say so. What's down here real quick? Is there anything of good use? There's an item right there. Here's some traffic cones. 3 rare bones. Good for selling purposes. And a rocky helmet. Yes! I was wondering where this was. Well, anyway, I think that's going to be enough for this episode. So, we are going to go ahead and end things off right here. Next time, I think we're going to go ahead and explore the rest of this place. Duskstone! Ah, okay. We're going to explore the rest of this town and maybe even take on the gym while we're at it. See you guys then.